Good morning, natural gas. It's Monday, July the 6th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company, and this is the top news for natural gas. Number one, the Europe and US are locked into a warmer weather pattern. Number two, Qatar is loading an LNG tanker at Las Rafan. This may mean that things are starting up again for that particular facility. Number three, Russia out of Yamal is loading up 2 LNG tankers for the Northern Sea route. And number four, in the US, rising Northeast power prices are not translating into higher natural gas futures. Let's turn to the spot August natural gas contract. Currently, we are trading at 323.10, up 3.5 cents or a little bit over 1%. And as you can see, the 13 and 48 period exponential moving averages are within basically 2 ticks of each other, here around 323. Right now, 1 tick. And as you can see, we've been stuck in this sideways pattern here since June 1st. That means the low end has been about 306, the high end about 341.5. So things are sideways for the RSI. So we're chopping back and forth and back and forth. The heat and higher power prices are not translating into higher natural gas prices. Why? This is August futures, not July cash. Let's take a look at the hourly chart, and there we go. We're popping above the daily pivot, which came in at 318.90 right now. Now we're up 4 cents. The RSI is turning to the upside. So we're through first resistance at 322.70, second resistance at 325.80. So let's see if we can gain enough momentum from some of the weather forecasts to kick this thing a little bit higher. Storage is going to be bullish for the market, we hope, because things can't get any worse here, going sideways again since June the 1st. Let's take a look at the winter injection strip, and this is Nov-Mar, and as you can see, we're down 4.4 cents here to 368 and 8.5. Right now, the RSI is turning to the downside. As you can see, the trend is still lower. Why? Concerns about Super El Nino. Our storage levels are doing well in the United States as opposed to Europe. And of course, if El Nino shows up, it means warmer temperatures in the northern tier. The southern tier, like Texas through Florida, is going to be warm and wet. Let's take a look at the ERCOT. And this is right now, the wind is starting to die down with the heat. As you can see right now, we're going to get low here of wind down around 2,000 megawatts today. Our total capacity for renewables, 34,000 megawatts. Our total system demand is just going to be under 83,000 megawatts. And here's the fuel mix. Because of that low wind, natural gas picks up some of that market share, running right now about 45% of the fuel mix because wind is only below 4% right now. And let's turn to the electrical grid across the United States. And as you can see, here's PJM. Not going to be too bad today. It was over $2,000 yesterday because of that extreme heat. So right now, our problem child, MISO. That's right, the Midwest here expected popped here almost to $200 per megawatt. Had a nice little spike, but we'll see how power prices react today as we get back to work here, as we start getting into, again, more heat. Not extreme heat in the Northeast anymore, but we start seeing sustained heat across the South. And here is that 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. The above normal temperatures are expected to be in the interior west again and around Florida. Everywhere else, though, is expected to be slightly above normal, leaning to above normal across the entire United States. And here is the heat risk here. This is Monday. As you can see right now, we have 3.2 million people with extreme heat risk in North Carolina. And right now that continues to ease up a little bit over the next few days, but then we start seeing it pop again on Thursday here. 6.3 million people. Again, Florida, Georgia, South and North Carolina. That continues for 10 million people on Friday. And then Saturday, again, same problem here. And then Sunday starts to ease up a little bit, mainly in Florida. And again, notice the pattern here. Warm from Texas all the way over to the Carolinas, warm in the interior west. And let's take a look at the European model here for heat risk. And as we go through the forecast period here, you notice that we're getting triple digits. The European tends to be a little bit lighter on the warm temperatures than the GFS. Let's take a look at the 15th here. As you can see, Dallas 102, Florida up here 100 here, 99 up in Virginia again, 90 looks like 90 degrees in DC. So as we start moving that pattern, that warm temperature again, look at that pattern. Texas all the way back up to Chicago, back up to Jersey. And this continues as we go forward here. We start seeing triple digits across Texas, the Carolinas in particular, Georgia, all the way up the East Coast. And that's on the 17th. Here's the 18th. Again, starting to see this same pattern here. Warm temperatures straight up from Texas, warm across the South, warm across the Carolinas as we move forward into the forecast period. The Great Lakes seems to be bouncing off that heat, keeping it relatively stable for periods of time between Chicago all the way back to Boston. But here is the 19th. Again, triple digit heat indices. This is the heat index map here. And as you can see going forward all the way through the 20th, this is warm all the way back to Chicago, 106. Dallas 97, which is actually cooler, and then all the way up here in Virginia 104, and you can see very warm pattern across the southeast. This is the European model, tends to run a little cooler than the GFS. And let's take a look at the LNG. This is Ras Laffan here. We are loading one tanker here. This is good news as they start to try and get this facility back online. Bangladesh is negotiating with the Qataris to get at least 80% of their contracted values. As you can see in the news, Edison out of Italy already has been extended on force majeure from Ras Laffan. So everybody's still scrambling what is going to become available. We've got 118 days before November the 1st, which means we don't have much time. Let's take a look at the European market right now, and this is the UK. This is the national balancing point. This is pence per therm, so it's not MMBTUs. You can see it's actually down today, almost 1.8% here to 105.73. Why? Because they're getting some larger LNG shipments coming in, so things are a little bit softer. Let's take a look at Europe for the weather. And this warm pattern continues for France as we're pushing. Come on, let's go kick it off. And here we go. Now we're a little stuck again. Here we go. Now we start seeing some warmer temperatures pushing again. This is pushing into July the 8th here. The 9th here, very, very warm pattern from Spain all the way back to the UK. And this is a little slow here. Sorry for the technical glitch. Let's see if this picks up again. We start seeing this warmer temperatures coming back in again around the 11th, 12th, 13th. Sorry for the technical problems here that we're having on WX charts. But let's take a look at the EU storage. Right now, we are at 50% full. Again, 118 days till November the 1st. Why is that important? Because that begins our space heating season. Right there, you can see it. November the 1st, on average, we start drawing down from storage in the EU. This is important because take a look at Great Britain. This is only 20% full, which means let's go kick it into gear. And looks like about July the 13th, 14th really starts when they start kicking some of the injections up here. This is going to be very, very important for Great Britain. Let's take a look at Belgium. They're only at 24% full. This is at new minimal lows here for the 5-year average. And the Netherlands at 27% full, new minimums here. So this is going to be important. We've only got 118 days left. How about Asia? Well, this is actually cooler on some of the forecast models here. This is the temperature anomaly map here. We get some warmer temperatures show up here from Shanghai back up to Beijing. But as you can see, this is slightly cooler temperatures start showing up here in the forecast here late. So let's take a look here as we move through. You could start seeing some cooler temperatures in eastern China, and then it starts pushing into Beijing around the 14th and 15th. Let's take a look at the U.S. LNG. This is Cameron, and it's doing well, steady here around 1.47. That's good news there. Let's take a look at Creole Trail. This feeds Sabine Pass here for Cheniere. And again, the same pattern here. They've got some maintenance here coming up. This is for Gillis starting tomorrow for 2 days. And that is going to affect about 300,000 MMBTUs. That's compressor maintenance here. That is normal. We'll see some more of that in August. And the same thing for Corpus Christi. Sinton Compressor Station, also about 300,000 MMBTUs for maintenance here. Again, the 7th and 8th, they are timed together. And so we'll see, again, that same pattern in late August. Here is Freeport running just under 1.9 BCF. And let's take a look at Calcasieu Pass here. This is for Venture Global. Again, the same pattern, about 400,000 is open capacity. Over at Plaquemines, running over nameplate capacity. So yeah, it's doing fairly well for both of those facilities. And so is Golden Pass, running over 500,000 MMBTUs for Train 1. Good news here. Let's keep it up. They've tried to get Train 2 started up for pre-commissioning. So good news if we can get both of these facilities online before the end of the year. And let's take a look at the tropics. There is some storm activity here off Central America here and around the Yucatan, but not much is expected out of this. There is no organization. If we're going to get something, it has to be from Panama back into the Gulf of America, because the Saharan air layer is just a line defense here. It is straight from the continent all the way back over into Central America. And as you can see, it's blowing into that area where we just saw some storm activity, which means it will inhibit any development. So nothing is expected for the next 7 days on tropical activity in the mid-Atlantic. And let's take a look at the stocks. These are stocks for the oil and gas E&P sector. Stocks between $2 and $10 billion have a high short float over 10%. As you can see, only got BKV up slightly here. Behind me, Magnolia is flat. So unfortunately, natural gas is up. Currently trading at $3.2240, up 2.8 cents here, or just below 1%. It is going sideways. So let's take a look at our expectations for storage. Let's continue to watch the weather. There is no tropical activity for the next 7 days. So unfortunately, folks, we're stuck. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.